Hello, God's beautiful people. Hello, hello, hello. I know it's not super early, but sometimes I have really late nights with the Lord. So I haven't gotten my day started. So excuse the sleep mask and the bonnet. But this is something that God has urged me to put out this morning. And I'm going to be obedient regardless of how I look. Now, disclaimer. This message gon' step on somebody's toes. But I'm going to say this. Like the old school preachers used to say, sorry if I stepped on your toes, but I was aiming for your heart. And look, God has called all of us to do something different. And I say this all the time because it takes different people to reach different people. We all have a calling, okay? But God needs his children, his people, to be confident enough to do what he instructed you to do. And what he instructed you to do may not be what he instructed someone else to do. Understand something. God knows us better than we know ourselves. He knows our strengths and he knows our weaknesses. So what God may instruct you to do based on your weakness, he may give me the green light because he know I'm strong enough for the task. He know I can do what he has called me to do in that moment. So while you may think what God instructed you to do was for everybody, it was just for you because it was based on you and your characteristics, you and your issues, you and your integrity, you and your dignity, you and your weaknesses, you and your strengths, regardless of what it is. That is your instruction from the Lord. So I'm going to take my instruction and I'm going to keep on moving. So many times we like to give instruction that God didn't mean for you to give anybody. That instruction was for you because it was based on what you needed so God can get you where he needed you to be. Let me say something. We could both be headed to the same destination, but because you don't like to drive on expressways, God may take you through city streets. But because I don't have a problem getting in the traffic jams and moving in and out of traffic, God gonna send me the express route. We may get there at two different times, but we gonna get there as God has ordained us to get there. Everything is not for everybody. Sometimes the message that God gives you is just for you, and that's it. It's not for everybody. We got to learn and stop being judgmental. We have to learn to stop looking at other people. When Jesus came, he said, I didn't come to condemn you. I didn't come to condemn the world. I didn't come to judge the world. I came to bring love. I came to save you. I came to bring salvation. So why are we always so quick to judge and condemn? It ain't time for that yet. And if God didn't send Jesus to do it, oh, so many years ago, I know he ain't sent you. Do what God has called you to do, but do it the way he called you to do it. And understand that what he called you to do is not what he called me to do, because we're all different. He knows us in and out, upside and down. He's our creator. He's our master. We already know that God has us in the palm of his hands. So while you in his palm on that side, I'm on this side. And what he has instructed me to do is maybe not what he instructed you to do, but let me walk my walk in Christ while I let you walk yours. Because I'm not going to interfere and I'm not going to tell you I know God did. I'm not about to tell you that because I don't know. Why? Because his word says that his ways are higher than our ways and our thoughts, and his thoughts are higher than our thoughts. So let me break that down. I don't care how hard you sit down and concentrate. I don't care how masterful you think you are with your words. I don't care how clever, intellectual, I don't care how many books you read. I don't care how many times you read the Bible cover to cover. I don't care what you have done to elevate yourself. You still can't come against the way that God chooses to do things. It will always exceed our capabilities. Always. So let's stop with the self-righteousness and just be righteous. I was listening to this prophet, and he was interpreting dreams. And it was a certain part of this dream that just God sent me to this video for confirmation to let me know that the way he called me is the way I'm supposed to be. And in this dream, this young lady said she knew that God was calling her, and she knew that, but she was running. But she said finally she ended up in the church. She said the church was separated into 3 sections. There was the worldly people, there was the lukewarm people, and there was the righteous people. She said the worldly people was playing music, and it was carnal music. And she went to them and she told them to turn the music off because it was inappropriate in the house of the Lord. And when they turned the music off, the whole section disappeared. But the revelation, that God gave her blew my mind. And I'm just paraphrasing, but that revelation basically said, when you approach the people of the world, you approach them in a judgmental way. And that's why they all disappeared. God was trying to use her to minister to the world, but basically she had to change her mentality and not approach them in a judgmental way, because if not, you were defeating the purpose. They were running from the message of God because the first thing she did was tell them they were wrong. A lot of you can't draw people because you're self-righteous. God didn't call you to judge. He didn't call you to point fingers. He didn't call you to tell people what they should and shouldn't do. That's his job. We are seed planters. But how you gonna plant a seed when you already corrupting the message? If you're the messenger, if you're supposed to bring me good news, but before you give me the good news, the first thing you're gonna do is tell me what I'm doing wrong, I don't hear nothing else you gotta say. And that was just confirmation for me that the way God called me is the way I'm supposed to do it. I don't care what you say. I don't care what God told you. I know what he spoke to me. And if it does not align with what you do, so be it. Because that judgment day, I don't have to answer to anybody but the Lord. I am here to encourage you. Run your race the way God set it up for you. Keep your eyes on him. Disregard what people have to say around you. And don't be so inclined to tell somebody what they are and what they are not supposed to do. Because you're not drawing them, you're running them away. You cannot approach people in the world as a representation of the Lord if you coming at them sideways. If you coming at them in a way that is judgmental. That is not how Jesus did it. I said this before. God has always told me, study the walk of Jesus. And if you do that and you can't see that how he operated in love, he didn't chase nobody. He planted the seed and he kept on moving. And that's exactly what I'm here to do. And I encourage each and every one of you, do the same. Run your race the way God says to do. We are supposed to be representatives of Jesus. Keep doing that. Do it that way. God didn't call you to judge anybody. And don't get so self-righteous that you forget to follow the only one that was truly righteous, and that's Jesus. I love y'all, and I'll be back with another word.